The Newsday continues here in One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. At least 40 domestic flights have been canceled due to a power outage at NAIA. These include Cebu Pacific flights to Luzon like Tuguegarao, Daraga, and Kawayan. Some flights to Visayas are also affected, including those bound for Caticlan, Cebu, and Bacolod. Several Cebu Pacific flights from Manila to some areas in Mindanao were also canceled. These include Davao, Butuan, Zamboanga, General Santos, Osamis, Cotabato, and Pagadian. The Manila International Airport Authority said the power outage hit NAIA Terminal 3 at around 1 a.m. The MIAA and technical personnel from Meralco are now looking into the cause of the power failure. President Bongbong Marcos is open to reimposing the face mask mandate if needed. Marcos Jr. said the government may have to require the use of masks again amid increasing COVID-19 infections. Right now, face masks are voluntary, except in public transportation and high-risk areas like hospitals.
We'll look at it. We'll check. Tignan natin kung may guidance ang IATA, guidance ang DOH. I hope we don't have to, but we might. But I hope not.
The president also underscored the need to ramp up vaccination, especially for the vulnerable population.
We'll have to conduct again a vaccination push, especially with people being a little bit, shall we say, nahihirapan na nga dahil sa init. That brings down, humihina ang katawan, and that will make them more vulnerable to COVID again.
The palace says President Marcos is eyeing to pick additional cabinet members following the end of the constitutional ban this month. Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cheloy Garafil said Marcos will be choosing from the list of, quote, competent personalities who lost in the 2023 polls. Under the Constitution, candidates who have lost the elections are not allowed to be appointed in government within 1 year after the polls. But with the constitutional ban set to end this May, Marcos says he is hoping to appoint more personalities among those who lost the elections in a bid to strengthen his cabinet.
Marami namang magaling na hindi nanalo sa eleksyon na gustong tumulong. So we will certainly look into that, no? In different positions.
For now, the president is refusing to bear the names of the new appointees as he wants to talk with his prospects first. Marcos clarifies, though, that he will not be reshuffling the cabinet.
No, I will not announce anybody. No, they should not hear it naman from the press. They should hear it from me. Kami muna mag-usap.
Sir, for agriculture?
Huh?
Agriculture, sir, for instance.
Kaya nga, I won't announce anything now.
And health. Ilan, sir? Ilan?
Sinabi na nga, hindi mag-announce kayo talaga.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Energy Department warns of thinner power supply amid rising demand as the El Nino phenomenon looms. The DOE says the country may see a thinner power supply in May until the month of June. According to the agency, this is due to hydropower plants going into preventive maintenance more often due to the hot weather. For this reason, the DOE now calls on the public to be more mindful in their energy consumption.
So, tinitingnan natin ang possibility na magkaroon ng kulang na reserba sa regulating reserve at saka dito sa contingency reserve sa first week and second week ng May, first week and second week ng June. Hindi natin sinasabing bawasan natin yung production or bawasan natin yung economic activity. What we are saying is do not be wasteful in the use of energy.
Prior to the onset of the El Nino phenomenon, Pag-asa says Filipinos can only expect temperatures to rise further. According to the agency, the heat index will particularly be higher in coastal areas as well as urban areas.
So, yun ang gagaling sa dagat. So, nagiging mas mataas ang bigay na alinsangan nun. Kaya tumataas yung heat index. Dahil dun sa mga matataas ng buildings, ibig sabihin, mababa na yung absorptive capacity ng ating mga kalupaan dahil panay buildings na nga siya na panay init na yung talagang nakatabi doon.
President Bongbong Marcos has signed an executive order to align the country with international labor standards. EO number 23 will create an interagency committee to coordinate and facilitate the resolution of labor cases. Marcos Jr. said this will address several issues raised by the International Labor Organization.
I just signed an executive order to put us in alignment with the International Labor Organization so that all of the areas that they have identified where there is weakness in our system, we have addressed it already.
The President said specific details on the new EO will be announced by Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma.
What it actually does is to instruct all the departments of government to work together on very specific issues. There are 4 issues that the ILO brought to the Philippines in terms of our labor relations. So, yun ang in-address na natin with the EO.
The Philippine National Police is deploying almost 60,000 personnel to ensure private safety and peace during Labor Day celebrations today. PNP Chief Police Benjamin Acorda says the deployment of police personnel will be enough to ensure order and security in all places of engagement. He also reminds all police officers to strictly observe the policy of maximum tolerance, respect for human rights, and adherence to police operational procedures. Groups are expected to join Labor Day protests today in major cities like Manila and Cebu. These include the labor group Kilusang Mayo Uno that is criticizing the Marcos administration's alleged band-aid solutions to labor issues. They are also calling on the government to provide workers with higher wages and decent working conditions, among others. Amid workers' calls, the Labor Department in a statement said the 1st of May should serve as a reminder for the government to properly implement policies that would protect and promote the welfare and rights of workers. Meanwhile, the International Labor Union said that inequality around the globe seems more entrenched amid falling wages and rising poverty. To address this, the ILO says world leaders must prioritize social justice in order to create a more sustainable and stable future for workers. The Kilusang Magbubukid ng Pilipinas, on the other hand, expressed solidarity with workers in the country. This while the farmers group called on workers to participate in demanding for genuine land reform that aims to dismantle land monopolies as well as dominance of landlords and big businesses. And that's it for this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. We are One News, all sides all the time.